Who's ready to deep dive Erin Hills? 5, 4, 3. Let us heads, we are back with a special edition of Please Let Us Golf, the podcast. We are going to be doing a hole for hole breakdown of everything you need to know about Erin Hills. Why Erin Hills now? It is host of the upcoming 2025 U.S. Women's Open Championship. We love USGA championships. They're the greatest test of golf in the country. And the women going to Erin Hills, not only is Erin Hills like, look, people are always talking about Erin Hills. It's highly searched golf course. It's highly sought after. It was one of our first trips as Please Let Us Golf. We did a whole property review in October 2024. What we did today is we just pulled out the actual hole for hole piece of holes 1 to 18, edited it down. I have a couple new tidbits in there, and we thought it'd be a good time to kind of serve as a primer for those that are interested in watching the U.S. Open this week, and then also just for anybody that is interested in knowing how we played and what our thoughts are on Erin Hills. And we hope you enjoy. So as always, stay plugged. We're going to jump right into it. Erin Hills. Give us a little insight into why Erin Hills is what it is.
Yeah, so Erin Hills, located in Erin, Wisconsin, about 40 miles northwest of Milwaukee. Pretty easy drive. Course opened in 2006. They opened up the 18-hole championship course. And when I say championship course, guys, I mean it's a big boy, big girl championship layout. The course, I mean, it's only been open, it's less than 20 years, and it's hosted some big time tournaments. It's hosted a US Am in 2011. Obviously, the 2017 US Open that Brooks won was there. It's going to be hosting the 2025 US Women's Open. So, I mean, that's the whole reason this course was
God
built.
have mercy on their souls.
Yeah, what these they playing?
Play from the tips, baby. Let's kill them. But yeah, I mean, the whole reason this place was built was to host big time tournaments like this. I was doing a little research, and our guy Bob Lang, who actually was the one that purchased the land and built Erin Hills, dude was a total lunatic. There was some houses around Erin Hills. He was just buying them up. Like he super overextended himself. He bought them up, got rid of them. He's like, I don't want anything near this golf course. And he made it like his life mission to bring a U.S. Open to Erin Hills, and kind of got him into some financial trouble. But hey, I did a little deep dive. The making of Erin Hills has to be like its own pod. It's wild.
Good teaser.
Jokes on that, dude. Everybody that goes turns into financial trouble afterwards. Jesus.
All right, guys. So we're gonna jump over to the course review, but I want everyone to have an opportunity here. Those first tee feelings. I'll start off. My expectations were, I was really thinking this was going to net out around a top 5 course that I've ever played. And a lot of people I respect in golf speak very highly of Erin Hills. The second you get off the course, I want to hit that shot again. I got to get back. The property's amazing. So that's where I was at on the first tee. And it's the first full round of a multi-day Wisconsin golf trip when we got sick golf lined up. So my adrenaline's pumping. Mm-hmm. So that's where I'm leaving that off. Jewel, where were you at?
Oh, I was ecstatic. I had some nerves, but yeah, super pumped.
Adam?
Yeah, man. Same thing with all the things you just said. That first hole, it's kind of weird because it's not a gentle handshake, that's for sure. And you kind of have that ridge over to the right where you can't really see what's on the other side, but that that opens up the rest of the golf course. And yeah, man, you're just kind of super jacked to get your day started. And I mean, everything that you heard about Erin Hills is it's the number 1 course in Wisconsin, maybe Whistling Straits. I know we're gonna get some pushback there, but yeah, man, it was awesome.
All right, Golfberg, what first tee, you're up there. What's going through the brain?
Well, a week before, I'm watching the 2017 Open. I'm watching Koepka tear things up, watching JT stripe 290-yard 3-wood. So fully expecting to have these kind of par 5, just badass experiences. I was definitely thinking I was going to do that. And one thing I realized is how remarkable this course looks from all of the awesome PGA Tour footage and the drones and the cool flyovers and all that stuff. I mean, the course just looks incredibly friggin' cool on TV. So I was just, I was expecting to be completely wowed. I also thought it was going to be a top 5, top 10 course. And Aaron, with the name Aaron, I thought I was going to take over that place potentially. I don't know. I was chomping at the bit.
We'll find out. So this first hole, Adam kind of teed it up. It kind of protects you on the right side to where you don't see what's on the other side of those kind of sand dunes, those mounds. And like Adam said, it's not really a gentle handshake. It is a par 5. You can go 4 and 2, but it's pretty much hazard down the left. And it's one of the only areas on the course that I can think of that's actually a hazard. Most of it's just fescue or rough. But you have this bunker lined on the right. You have 2 center line bunkers that are pretty much your target. But the for context, tees we were playing were like 7,069 something. So it was the green tees there. We didn't play at 7,700 yards. Sorry. But yeah, so a lot of golf course still, but those center line bunkers start coming in play with the run out because it was firm out there. It was fast. Everyone kind of hits a solid tee shot. I did catch a little fairway bunker. But my takeaway on the first hole, Aaron, is it's a cool opening hole. But in retrospect, as we go through the rest of the course, it was a very unique hole. It was one of the only ones that actually felt linksy to me. In that you could use the 70, 80 yards in front of the green to actually run the ball up. We'll get into it in the other holes, but that is not the way the rest of the course plays. So it almost kind of sets you up for an okie doke a little bit. But cool opening hole, but definitely a little odd relative to the rest of the course.
Especially as it compares to the 18th hole, which won't get into now, but like just complete opposite. So yeah, fun hole, gives you like a chance to kind of play a cool run out shot, use a bank to your advantage. Couple different places to miss. So yeah, pretty opening hole. Liked it a lot.
Yeah, it's definitely completely different than the rest of the course. It was like the one hole that just didn't feel like it was part of the rest of the course. I mean, you kind of feel like they're trying to get you out, you know.
But let me also say it was one of my favorite holes on the course. So I don't know what that says.
No, yeah, it's weird. It was one of my favorite holes too.
Well, I think it's because, again, we'll hopefully have some pictures, videos that gives us more context. But since you play back down, it almost gets you to like the bottom of the property, and then you just work your way back up. And then you have a couple moments where you come down, but then you just work your way straight back up. So yeah, definitely a cool opener. So second hole, I do want to spend some time for a second on that because I think universally everyone loved this golf hole. So I don't, Adam, as our historian, I don't know if this is technically a template hole. I don't know if that's an Alps adjacent type of hole. So basically it's like a 330 yard par 4 that about 250 down, there's a massive dune mound that you can drive. If you can carry it 260 plus, you can go straight over it. And it gives you a line directly to this cool ass turtleback green. But the difference is it has a massive bunker on the front of the face. So if you mess with it, like you're fucking with it. Like you're just punching out at that point. Right. But you can lay up short of it, and it's a pretty wide fairway, but then you are completely obstructed to an extremely difficult green to hit. Again, you could be like Jewel and go over it, or you can go just left of it, but the trade-off is it's a very narrow landing space. So
or hit it right in front of that trap.
Or like you hit it right in front of the trap. You hit a good ball. But yeah, you had a 10 out of 10 difficulty shot. You hit a great one. But yeah, thoughts on the second hole in terms of you just went to one, this linksy style par 5. Now you got a short par 4 with this massive sick dune that
it stayed on.
It obscures. You can't see the green, but it tempts you to take it on. So what were your feelings, Adam?
Yeah, I mean, when we played it doing the kettle loop, I didn't really think it was that hard. I drove the green and made eagle, but no, it's no. It's a very no. It's
I'm proud of you, man. I just teed you up for that, hoping you'd go there, and we didn't talk about that, and you did it. Good for you, man.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's definitely one of my favorite holes on the front. That green definitely kind of, I've never been to Pinehurst, but yeah, I kind of get the Pinehurst vibes. If you get a chip around that green, good luck, or a putt. But yeah, super, super awesome green complex.
That green's impossible. I don't know why we all liked it so much, but
Isn't
I
that weird?
somehow hit a perfect distance, but it could have easily been
So
screwed.
Jewel, try thought exercise. Why is that? Because I think we're going to have some takes on some other greens, but that was difficult, but we all loved it. Why do you think that is?
I think it's just so much risk reward from both shots, the first and the second. I mean, Adam drove it. The tees were playing up, but on the second day when we went and played it, I hit driver and I hit it pretty good, and I was 8 yards short. I mean, you can drive that green and then you can lay it up and you can hit a little wedge. And the pin placements both days were not crazy. They were fairly benign because that green only has a small surface up there that's flat. So if you can hit a good wedge,
Aim for the
exactly,
middle of that green.
you hit a good wedge in there, you probably have a 10-foot putt.
Right. But but the greens were firm. So you found out about that. You did play well for the day, but you just were in front of the green. You chipped it 20 feet short of the flag. It just released and it trickled off the back of the green. So, but yet we still think positively of it. It's very interesting to me. I think it has something to do with it seems it's right there in front of you. The shot you have to hit, where a lot of the other ones, I think we're going to get into, there's no way to know the shot you had to hit unless you were going to spend 3 hours walking everything off.
Yeah, you know the task at hand. It's like, oh God, I've got to be super precise with this chip, or it's going right off the green, and I'm gonna have to play the exact same shot again.
Yep. Okay. Any other thoughts on 2? Okay. So, look, anybody can stop to jump in on a specific hole here. I was kind of bucketizing 3 to 6 because this is where Erin Hills really slaps you in the face.
I have no memory of holes 4 or 5, so maybe that's PTSD. None. I can't.
But I think
place
it's
myself there.
because you hit the stretch of the course where you find out at least every tee shot or approach shot is completely blind. Not both. Some holes it is both.
Three's
but
not.
yeah, 3 is pretty open. Your approach shot's a little elevated and you can't really see what's going on a multi-tier green with severe runoff. But it progressively gets more extreme as you get into 4, 5, 6, and 6 is not obscured, but the green is just it's like
ridiculous.
impossible. It's impossible. It's so
And I
firm.
heard Shane Bacon say, "But you'll never make more than a 4." I'm like, "You out of your mind, dude?"
Yeah, maybe if you're playing it from 150 yards, you won't make more than a 4.
There's a reason this place is called Erin Hills. Some of the
Yeah.
looks, it's almost borderline gimmicky how hilly portions of what is happening there.
And and they would argue it's because it's natural land that they didn't touch. I mean, maybe you would argue that maybe they didn't need to make a golf course on it then, but so that kind of got us into the meat of the course, the difficult portions. Personally, on my own ball, I think I went on a back-to-back bogey run. I think a couple of that could have been without, because not having a caddy. A couple of it was user error. That's just how it works. But then we got to 7. It was another cool par 5. It was this dog leg left with a 330 run out bunker. And it was one time we all piped a drive. It was really cool. We all got to one spot in the fairway. It was a good look at us moment. But then you saw it open. You can't really tell. But then your approach shot goes back up 30-ish yards back up the hill. Everyone had 230-ish into the green with dead left and a 50-yard runoff right. So
which you can't really see. Adam played it smart. You can't
see how extreme it is. As you get closer, the scale gets more and more extreme. Yeah, Adam laid up and we gave him shit.
It was smart because I tried to go for it with a hybrid. I didn't have enough club. It does that thing where it runs off and gives you the worst. I think it's my least favorite shot in golf, hands down. The 40 to 50 yard pitch shot to an elevated 60-foot elevated green off these tight lies that if you try to hit it with finesse, you're going to chunk it. So I guess you have to putt it up a 50, 60-foot hill, which I wasn't going to try to do. You're just completely boned over there. So you have to lay up. I don't know.
Yeah, because it's a really small, skinny green too. So it's definitely, I think that might be the lesson learned on those par 5s in general, outside of maybe number 1. You really are playing for a position. Okay, go to 8. So 8 was 8 might be the hardest hole. It's this crazy 100% blind tee shot. But the problem is your fairway is sloped left or right. I don't know. 40 degrees. It's unless it's soaking wet out there, it's impossible to hold the fairway. Jewel came the closest and just got into the rough and hit like the sickest approach ever from 200 yards. Adam and I are in bumblefuck. We actually, was one area where they actually had a starter or whatever, a guy in a cart give you some pro tip advice. And he's like, yeah, that spot, me and Adam, 2 yards left of the spot, he said, and he's like, yeah, that's dead. Like, what? Right. But yeah, it was also an area where it's not just how hard it is to hold that that fairway. Man, if you're short of that green, not only does it either have death bunkers, it's one of the areas where the ball can literally come back. I think we shot at him when it happened on a rejection. I think he was 91 yards or 88 yards, something below the surface of the green, and his ball literally stopped like on the fringe, and we stopped looking. And then all of a sudden we go, Adam, we all play up and we're like, Adam, where's your ball? We look back, it's 91 yards.
Yeah, I was getting out of the bunker. I didn't even notice. Where'd my ball go?
The bunker. He's raking the bunker because we didn't have caddies, so we're doing our own work.
Eighth was probably my least favorite hole in the front. I'm not saying that just because I got ejected, but yeah, like you said, that tee shot, I don't know. I mean, you have to execute a perfect tee shot, and it's got to be kind of a little bit of a draw.
Yeah, you got to hook. You got to hit like a big draw.
No, you can take a little off it, end up where I am, but then you're 220 to the most ridiculously uninviting green on the course. And I was thinking, one was kind of fun. You can almost give yourself a birdie chance. Then every single hole since then was a bitch to get through. I mean, every single one of them so far. And then, we're on 8 currently. Craziest hard drive. Jewel hits a fantastic second shot. That was ridiculous. Adam was rejected. I got stuck in the lip of a bunker. Everything just runs away.
I think it would be one of those areas where if a caddy was on here, they would tell you got suckered because the pin was right. And they would have probably said, yeah, just play like 60 feet left, which brings in the left bunker.
And then it stays left, though.
Yeah.
Good luck with that putt.
Yeah. So it is a pick your poison kind of thing. Or you'd be like Jewel and just be in the rough and flag a 4-iron to 15 feet. But, us mere mortals don't do that.
Yeah, that was a really good shot. The only thing I will say on number 8 is there was a bit of a backstop behind the green. So you could play a little long, but if you went too long, then you're hitting downhill with the potential of going off the front. So it was a tough hole.
Yeah. So positive note on 8, it did bring you to like the top of the property on the front 9, and you get this incredible vista. And you go to walking over to the signature 9, polarizing hole. I'm sure we're going to have differing opinions on here. Par 3 protected by, 87 bunkers, spine, fingers, all in front, elevated. Guys, it's beautiful, but the effective landing area of that green is, I know people say a Volkswagen. It's probably literally like 10 by 10. Like Jewel, I think you went first. You had a little cut and the wind was coming off the left. Tough pin with it tucked left that day. You hit the middle of the green, it rolled off. Adam, you hit the right side of the green. It was going right. Erin, I know you were a little, I think we have a video, you lost your hands on that one. It was a little short right. I probably hit my best shot of the day, and it was here from taking the same route Jewel had. But man, that's a golf hole, man. And I think we played it at like 155 yards that day or something, 150. I think it only tips out at like 70, 75. I'm sure someone will fact check me, but that's about as hard as it gets in terms of executing.
There was nowhere to aim on that shot.
Yeah, you just
thought
hit the flagstick. Pure.
The tee box has you kind of veering right. The hole is kind of going left. The way the green is shaped, put those it's just insanely difficult. I don't know. Just like
I can't imagine it. Like, it wasn't even really blowing all that much the day we played. When it blows,
I guess it was.
I think the footage is going to be. I was shocked at how windy it was, but I get.
Did you see my hair, Adam?
Yeah,
I did.
But I do know what you mean. Like we didn't catch it on a 25+ day, which I know can happen. That would be impossible.
Yeah, I think we compare a lot of our trips to Bandit and the wind experience we've had out there.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah.
It's like you are either Brooks Koepka or this is like miniature golf on steroids. I mean, it's honestly, if you are not out of this world good at golf, it feels like it's almost too gimmicky, too hard, too nuts. It
Yeah.
never gives you a moment. You don't get, and I'm kind of comparing to, like, I played another US Open course this year, Chambers Bay. So much fun to play. And one thing I just, as a contrast, the green complexes are so weirdly inviting. Like, they're kind of built up and have these banks and kind of places you can look to and aim. And not that you're hitting shots like Planko, but you're just kind of, it gives you some perspective. There's some depth to them. I mean, there's obviously bunkers. It's obviously a tough course too, but man, this course is just out of this world hard. Like, I don't know that I played a harder golf course. Maybe I'm wrong, but
Yeah, I really love the back nine. Typically when I really love a course, it's when I can distinctively like remember holes, and I feel like I remember almost every single hole on the back nine because it just felt like each hole was very distinct, very different. And I think it's on the most dramatic piece of land on the entire property. Just, I mean, we'll get into 12, but the fairway on 12 is just absolutely bonkers. So you start on 10, and 10 is actually one of my favorite holes on the back. And I know,
Really?
yeah, I know, I know it was not one of your favorites. You were losing your mind on that green from what I remember. But yeah, another blind tee shot, kind of going up the hill, but there's kind of like a little bit of a speed slot on that right side. If you catch it, your ball will really trundle down, and you'll get a little bit closer to that green. But the fun really starts with that green where it slopes. It's kind of two-tiered where it slopes really dramatically from right to left, and you got that full experience. I got the full experience too, by the way. But you were kind of losing your mind with that green. Any thoughts from you on that?
Let me give context. First of all, I am about to tee off on the 10th hole, and Jewel tells me, "Hey, you and Adam are tied." And I was red ass because I didn't even feel like I was playing back. And like, look, and that's awesome. You played excellent. This is a fucking hard ass golf course, and that front nine was wicked. And as a 8 handicap, and I was going in as a +1, and we're tied. And it's to start the trip, and it's like, it's not what it's about, but your ego in the back of your head is like, okay, I got to get my shit together. Pipe a drive on 10, and it's everything you said. Hit the speed slot. I got basically like a 9 iron in, maybe it was 8 iron. This was one of 2 shots at 100%, like, just not knowing. Like, there's this massive bowl way right of the flag that had no idea that green even existed over there, and it was probably my second best hit iron of the day at that point. Flush it. It's like 2 yards left of the flag. Little wind gets it. Probably drifts 3 yards. I'm fixing my divot in the fairway. And then I hear one of you guys go, "Ooh," and I just see my fucking ball on the back of the screen zooming down 30 yards past you and Aaron on the left. And I'm like, this is bullshit. I wouldn't have missed that if I had a caddy. It's like, and then I had to apologize. I won't say anything about a caddy again. But again, it actually is a cool golf hole and green, but definitely one where it's like, you're obscured that the green goes 30 yards to the right, and you're obscured that there's a tier you can't see that if you hit it on the green, your ball's just gone. So I hit that and got a little bit butt hurt, but overall I get it.
I'll do kind of a quick drive-by on 11. So I think 11 was maybe one of the shorter par fours on the course, and it's kind of deceiving from the tee box because you can't really see. You can't see the green, and you can't see the left side of the fairway. I remember Aaron and I kind of had the interstellar balls to the right, and we were in some really difficult, kind of a difficult spot headed up to that green. Do you have any thoughts on the 11th, Jewel, Goldie?
Yeah, I think 11 was the first time you got to catch a little bit of a break and breathe for a minute. Like 6 through 10 was so challenging. Then you get to 11, and I know you guys said you sprayed it a little bit, but I mean, I hit a really bad iron, and I thought I was going to be in the rough, and I was like 10 yards from being in the rough. I was right center of the fairway and still had like a 9 iron in. And that green wasn't overly challenging either. There wasn't a ton of there was a bunker that was right in front of the green and back right, which was kind of not in play. But it felt like the first break was like, all right, I can breathe a little bit. This isn't super challenging after what I just got beat up on.
Two of us made birdie on that hole.
And they double birdied us. I think Adam and I were teammates at that time. We were doing a little 6-6-6. So unprofessional bullshit. We got double birdied.
Man, I forgot that Aaron birdied that hole. That was from where you were at. That's pro level. But yeah, so that takes us into the 12, which the 12 is typically you ask everyone what their favorite hole is. Probably 90% are going to say the 12th. Another blind tee shot, and you get to the top of that ridge in the fairway, and how severe the drop off and how that fairway just kind of winds down to the green is one of the most dramatic, just crazy fairways I think I've ever seen. And the green site too is just incredible. I mean, everyone probably gets caught up in what's going on the fairway, but that green site is just kind of like tucked in the most perfect spot. And it just looks like they literally discovered that golf hole and just didn't move any dirt at all.
Yeah, cool tee shot too, because it's obviously got that big ridge, but you can kind of see over it just a bit, and you can peek some grass on the other side, which incentivized, I think, Adam and I just swing a driver and just try to nail one down there, as opposed to 8, where you're just staring at a wall, a hill wall, and just going, I don't know what is happening. 12 kind of it looks nuts, and it looks like a slide, but like it kind of invites you in. It's like, look at the way this bends, and maybe you can aim over there, and so it's a super fun hole from the tee,
so
for sure.
Pretty amazing footage we got on this hole, not just photogs, but videos. So a little discussion of what the proper line is off the tee. I was adamant I hit the perfect shot because there's these. Erin Hills has the most beautiful center line cuts of into the green again, down grain fairway cut, but the misleading part of that is like those lines really aren't your lines. So we were debating, hey, do you want to be just right of that and take it on? And Adam and Aaron did that and hit drives, nice, beautiful cuts right there. Jewel kind of hit like a cut 3 iron, right, Jewel? And I hit pretty much a straight hybrid, and I was adamant it was perfect. I was talking a lot of shit. The video evidence will show that I was not right, and I was pretty fucked. Had a, by the way, I will say, humble brag, a miraculous par on that golf hole. But yeah, certainly that's one where you just have to take on the risk, right? Like you need to hit a cut. And I don't know if you guys really had to hit drivers because your drivers probably flew to the flats there. I think if you hit like the number, Jewel and I were hitting like 230 shots, right? But if we had enough cut to it, you could have taken that big slope down probably near to where your drives went.
So 13 got the par 3. And so this is outside of the first hole, this is the only other hole where you have a waste area on the course. And of course I found it. So that was fun.
Oh yeah.
Any thoughts on 13? Didn't really, I guess on the back nine, this 13 didn't really do it for me. Maybe I missed something.
Adam, isn't this the impossible hole? That just insane par 3?
It was hard with that wind. We'll have a really nice short, so comment, like, subscribe. The problem was, man, the wind was just whipping right to left, so I think all of us wanted to throw it up in the wind right, and 2 of us blocked it way right, and 2 of us hooked it, and when it started hooking, the wind just took it. It was just a hard golf hole. Not aesthetically my favorite, probably my least favorite hole on the side.
It didn't fit the course in the same way that number 1 didn't, but 1 was a much better golf hole. Like it did not fit the golf course, and also the pin was tucked left. You have the bunkering on the left, then you've got the marsh. It was a really interesting hole.
I'm jonesing to get to 14 and 15. I love this stretch. 12, 14, 15 are the hitters. So 14 long par 5. You kind of got this long bunker that's middle-ish of the fairway. You kind of have to hug maybe the right side. The fairway winds up to the green, and that green, I just love it. There's so much going on. You got kind of like a little bit of a bank on the back, but then you got this false front running off to the right.
You didn't hit that, did you?
No, not at all. Yeah, I mean, see, like I got ejected and I loved it, but I'm I'm curious what y'all's thoughts are, because it was one of my favorite holes. I just really love the way that green sits up on the hill, and you've just got a lot going on with it.
Yeah, I agree. It was a pretty open drive. Again, wind at our back, so we were able to kind of let it rip. And even if you miss left, the fescue was super low. Like you could find your ball over there. I know we found Adams, and
why was that though? Like there was
I
just
don't
like
know.
one or
There
two
need to
holes
be more
where,
of that.
Yeah, weird.
But anyway, and I think the most special part of this hole was exactly what you said, Adam, is the green. So and just the area around the green. On the left side of that green, I had maybe that 190 out, and I could see there's a little bit of slopage coming back to the left side of the green. And then back, it looks like there's a ton of it, but really there's not. And if you go just a touch too far, you're up on top of that hill and you're pitching directly downhill like Andrew was. And that's a brutal shot.
I thought I had like 5 feet for eagle, and you guys are like,
It was like if you asked AI to create the craziest possible green you can with no concept of physics or how the game of golf works or is meant to be played, they'd probably it almost looks like the green is melting off the cliff. It's like a Minecraft green.
Yeah,
It's-
we have a stick.
I respect it. Precise.
See,
shot.
this course, man, I've never played a course that belongs more on the ocean that isn't on the ocean than this, because you need to be able to just see that, then look up and go, all right, I know why I'm here. I mean, I can feel the breeze. This is great, because it's like you're in a video game.
Yeah, that's
I actually hit the green in 2, and did I 3-putt or 4-putt? Who knows?
It was up there.
Anything
I'm
else?
glad you liked it, Adam.
I loved it, but I did not love it as much as my favorite hole on the course, 15.
Wow, your favorite
hole.
Cute tee
Short-
shot.
It's the best. I just love short par fours. In this one, I think there's so many decisions to be made on the tee box. You know, do you lay up? There's bunkers everywhere.
There's kind of like 2 primary fairway bunkers that you have to know, like, hey, am I going to hit the 200 shot or the 240 shot?
Yep.
Or am I going to blow it over them?
Right. You can try to just go for the green, or you can, like, just like you said, is it a 240 shot layup, or are you laying up shorter than that? It gives you options. I just love that. You know,
What are the options? You can't hit it long or short, though, or left or right. You have to hit it perfect distance right in the middle, which a couple of you guys did.
You talking about the green or your tee shot?
Yeah, the green. Sorry,
Okay.
you're right. The tee shot's cool. I meant the green. You're right.
Yeah. Well, we'll get to that part.
Okay.
but so yeah, I get it. So the green, it's kind of like a volcano green. It's it's perched up there. You're gonna have an uncomfortable shot if you lay up, which I don't know what was playing. I don't know if anybody remembers, but I don't think you were getting to it.
Yeah, it was like 340, like to the stick from the tee box.
Yeah. So I
What
mean,
do these distances even mean with the elevation change, though? Right? It's so wacky.
Well, but it was a good contrast though too, because Adam and I hit drivers and we carried those bunkers and went right up to the front of the greens. Adam had a super precarious lie with a pretty sick outcome. You and Jewel probably played the pro play. You went right up to that 240 bunker, like 3-5 yards short of it. But to your point, then it was the contrast. Like your margin of error is nothing. Even Jules' shot that went in as it's playing right now, I call the cut spin, but there's this ridge in the middle of it. And if you didn't have cut spin, he would have held the green on the left side, but it would have been a pretty bastard putt coming back. Or you just barely fractionally miss it and hit the front edge and you roll back 70, 80 yards. That's what happened to you. Yeah. And then in Adam's approach, again, we push drivers up. And when you see that image that shows how difficult, like, I mean, you can't see shit. You see barely the top of the flag. So again, I like the strategy off the tee. I think in retrospect, Jewel, how far was y'all shot in there? Like 100 yards, 80 yards?
I think I had like 70.
Okay. Yeah, it was like 75 or something.
Yeah, so to me, that's probably the sweet spot of getting enough loft and enough spin. But man, it's just like you got to hit the golf shot or you're double city.
75, how elevated too? Like
I'd say 40 feet up, maybe 50
so
feet
you're
up.
you're so trying to hit this precise wedge, and I went short, screwed. Anyway. Tough hole. But pretty tee shot with that tree and the way. Yeah, for sure. That's a cool.
For
like that
sure.
hole.
But Adam, that was your
Um,
favorite hole overall, or on the back nine?
Favorite hole overall.
What'd you make there, Adam?
I believe
I know what he
made-
made because
Oh,
he
I know.
swiped a putt and it was awful for birdie.
Oh, I can't wait, dude! I'm so glad. I can't wait to layer that in too.
Yeah, that's tough.
Sorry, dude. You hit a great shot up there.
Yeah, it was
Yeah, great shot. Yeah.
20 out of 10 approach,
Um,
and then a 1 out of 10 putt.
Well, guys, as much as I love 15, 16 and 17, I must have just blacked out because I guess you know what happened on 15. I just nothing super memorable with 16,
thought-
17.
I thought
I had a
16
good
was a
shot.
much better par 3 than 13, right? Not great, but it was kind of cool. It's kind of like in a little bowl. It's a 2-tiered green. It's got the bunkers right. You know, it was playing pretty. I think it was kind of 180 into the
Long.
wind, so it was playing. You know, it was like playing 200. I thought it was a pretty solid par 3 and kind of.
I think I hit a 4-iron that spun back 30 feet.
yeah. You flew it onto the proper tier, and we're gassing it up, and then all of a sudden it comes scooting back. But not an
Erin
exceptional golf hole, but okay.
I thought I kind of liked it too, but hard, just hard.
Yeah, very tough. I mean, hitting
But
it
fair.
directly into the fan on a par 3 that the green is like maybe 30 feet wide max. It's a pretty tough hole. Bunkers along the side. It was a challenging par 3. I liked it. It stimulated my mind visually, but challenging hole. I bogeyed it.
I also think there was a snake track where your ball was at in the bunker. Do you
That was
remember
sketchy
that?
too. I do remember that.
Very
I don't
odd.
like snakes at all.
This is weird. Like, what is that? And we didn't. Oh, another thing. Outside of the turtle you guys saw on the drumlin, I don't think we saw one animal or wildlife on the property, which is odd. So,
well, that guy buying up all the houses bought up all the animals too.
Yeah,
And
Bob Lang, he eradicated all the animals. He got all of them out of there.
Well, they don't want them, stepping and ruining the fine turf they got going there.
Sure.
No push carts, no animal hooves.
It would be a mess.
A total mess. So,
Man, should we kick it
greens
to
are a
18?
mess,
Should we kick it to 18?
well, before we do, can I just say the 17th
You just
hole,
want to talk about making a birdie.
I just want to say, in full disclosure, that hole was a monster that day. It's not. I mean, it's a blind shot. We all hit good tee shots. No, we hit good tee shots, and we all said it might be good, and we had no fucking clue. And at that point, we were kind of spent. But it was my first and only birdie of the day, so tip of the hat.
Well done.
I think Adam commented that was practically an eagle that day, so I was like, I'll take it. So it was my one eagle that day. But all right, Adam, fast track us to 18, dude. Tee this damn thing up, man. Do it justice. No pressure, but don't fuck this up. People need to understand what this hole is.
My least favorite hole on this entire property.
Wow.
So I think from the tees that we were playing it at, typically probably plays like 630 on the card.
We were at the 622 plate.
Okay. When we played it, I legit think it was playing like 800 yards. Wind blowing directly into us. There was
much
a
more
bunker.
uphill than it looks too.
Yeah. So my tee shot found a bunker that it felt like that bunker was like 180 yards in front of the tee box, and I could have swore I hit that driver pretty well, and it just the wind ate it up, and from then on out it was just an absolute slog. We've got some great I think footage on that hole. I don't know if we need to ruin all the
I may just have a compilation of shots randomly running at this point of maybe throw up the screenshot of what the video files look like. There's about 80 video files for 4 golfers just getting through the 18th hole. So I'm sure there's going to be some slapstick comments coming up, but so this one into the wind is borderline impossible, right? Because of what you just said, it brings those first set of fairway bunkers into play. And 3 of the 4 of us caught him. Mr. Golfberg, you can get into your epic tee shot, split in the middle, must be easy. But man, like that is, if you could carry those bunkers and you could get into the rough for the fescue or something beyond, at least it's like a traditional 3-shot hole. But man, if you can't get past those bunkers, it is a monster.
Because there's landmines past those bunkers. There's landmines everywhere. Like, I feel like I found like 4 fairway bunkers before I even got to the green.
That literally, yes, you did 3 of them.
I think the only logical way to play that hole would have been to think of it as you're doing what you can to make 6. You're actually trying to get on the green in 4. And I remember watching the Shane Bacon thing. He does the hole by hole. All he says is stay right. I mean, he said it like multiple times. By my second shot, I was way left. I was in those traps. I never got out of the left. Did I ever get out of the left? I think I got to the green at some point. 7 shots later.
You stayed so left, you just got all the way back to Seattle.
Yeah, no shit. You just got to push it right. And even the 3rd shot in, you can't miss left because those greens there are like literally beach sand. We're nowhere near a beach. Well, that's not true. Lake Michigan. They trucked it in from Lake Michigan. It's impossible sand to play out of. Your club just slides through it.
You almost killed Puffin.
Almost killed Puffin. You can't be left.
Yeah. Jewel, what were your thoughts on 18?
Fucking tough. I mean, I was even going into 18, we're all exhausted. I'm trying to grind for a score, and I'm looking at this hole, and it's blowing 20 straight into us. It's like, this is literally impossible. And I hit driver into the first bunker, and my next thought was like, yeah, I want to make bogey from here because I'm hitting 5-iron out of this bunker, and I'm still going to be 250 out. Man, it just feels like a tough way to end a very tough day. Like switch one and 18. Something. Give us a little reprieve to close out. So when we leave that green and then walk 300 yards back to the clubhouse without a ride, I'm not going to be in a bad mood at the round I just finished with a double bogey.
It feels like one of 2 things happened with 18. It's like the course architects, we got through 17 and they're like, okay, so we've got to get these guys all the way back to the clubhouse somehow. Let's design a 650-yard par 5, or maybe I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, keep going. Yeah, uphill.
Yeah, 100 feet uphill.
Or it all goes back to these guys, or Bob Lang, and I hate to keep lighting him up. He was so consumed with bringing a U.S. Open to Erin Hills that I guess as a finishing hole, hey, let's throw a 650-yard uphill into the wind par 5 for these guys.
Yeah, let's nuke it up.
Yeah.
By the way,
I'm just going to say it for the 10th time too. These yardages don't mean anything. There's something, not just the wind. There's something about the elevation there. And what the miss will do to you that it was crazy. I mean, it's truly so much longer than it's written down.
There it is, hole for hole, Erin Hills from a group that actually just played it. So now when you're checking out the Women's U.S. Open, hopefully you got some better context into some of those holes and challenges, difficulty that they're facing. Listening back, some time has passed, so some of that raw emotion is gone. I don't think any of my personal takes or talking to the guys that theirs really changes, other than like we do have an appreciation for the championship level and caliber course this is. I think it's definitely one to get the full appreciation. It is probably one you just got to play multiple times. The problem is there's one course on one property, and most people are going to go spend a night there. You might play it twice if you're lucky. So it is kind of measured on that resort one and done type of mentality, and it is a brute, right? So you're gonna get your teeth kicked in probably, but it's an awesome property, and it is a great championship test of golf for the best players in the world. So I hope you enjoy this week, and we got a lot coming up for the rest of the summer. So as always, stay plugged. Peace.